and welcome to Your Coaching Journey, a podcast for doctors about coaching. Whether you're a coaching doctor, a doctor who is learning to coach, or a doctor who'd like to build coaching into your professional life, then this is the podcast for you.
Hello, I'm Helen Leathers, and with me today is my business partner and co-host Tom Dillon. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Helen. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about positive psychology interventions in coaching.
Oh, yeah, this is my topic, isn't it?
It is your
I
topic.
forgot it was me. Ought to have done some prep, really.
Yeah, over to you.
Well, I thought we might try a round of just a minute and try doing this for a minute without hesitation, repetition or deviation.
Really?
Yeah. No, you failed already. That was hesitation, wasn't it?
I didn't hesitate in saying really.
But then you stopped. You have to keep talking for a minute.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, we'll go on.
Go. You go.
No, I've failed now. Should we just do the podcast?
Let's just do the podcast.
Okay. So I thought we'd talk about positive psychology and explore some of the evidence-based interventions that exist. So those PPIs.
And not payment protection insurance. No.
Makes me slightly
Positive
twitchy.
Psychology interventions.
Yes. And obviously, positive psychology is an area that most of our audience will have come across. Mm-hmm. Certainly the people that have been on our course, it's part and parcel of our course. We talk about positive psychology in a very general way. We don't use a lot. We do use some, but not a lot of positive psychology interventions on our course. But there are a lot out there. Probably a couple of hundred out there. And people are researching all the time, coming up with new interventions. And the idea of PPIs, positive psychology interventions, is that they are research-backed.
Yes.
So people have done some research. It might have been a literature review of what evidence there is for these being effective. But yeah, there's definitely research behind each one.
We talked about positive psychology first in episode 25.
Did we?
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So yeah, I think you're right. Most coaches will understand the concept of positive psychology, but they might not feel entirely clear on what counts as an intervention and what doesn't.
Yeah, so obviously positive psychology at its heart is that it is a scientific study. It's psychology, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a scientific study of what helps people flourish. So rather than that deficit model of taking people from -5 to 0, we're taking people from 0 to 5, seeing how they can flourish. So looking at what allows people to flourish in a very positive way. So if we think about the PERMA model, we've got positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, accomplishment, and health.
Yeah.
So those are all positive aspects of positive psychology. And then the PPIs, the positive psychology intervention, is just the exercises, the ways of being that have been researched. So the evidence is there to say, okay, this is going to, if you do these things, it's going to help to increase your sense of well-being, help you function more effectively. So they're not just nice ideas, not just let's do a nice exercise. There is some research behind it to show that it is helpful in terms of well-being.
Yeah, and we're not just talking about interventions that are just about being more cheerful or telling people to think positively.
No, and I think people who encounter positive psychology without understanding it can think, well, you're just saying smile more.
Yeah.
You're saying cheer up. And it's not about that at all.
No, I think in pop psychology, it can be, in...
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Can be a bit...
I don't know what goes on Instagram, so that might not be what they say at all. They might be using PPIs all the time. I don't know. But it definitely not about ignoring problems, not about forcing optimism, but it is about intentionally creating those conditions that allow people to notice what's working, build on strengths, develop resources that support change, that sort of thing. And obviously it fits really nicely into coaching because we're already working with growth, awareness, forward movement.
What would you say are some of the most common PPIs that are being used by coaches, but they don't necessarily realise they're PPIs?
Well, I think people will use the concepts, the ideas that sit behind PPIs in quite an effective way in coaching. So I don't think we necessarily have to use PPIs in the coaching room to have the benefit of the research and to understand.
Yeah, true.
Get people moving forward. So I don't think I explicitly use PPIs a lot. Sometimes they come up, but for the most part, I'm using the theories that sit behind them and having conversations with people. So it's just a good coaching conversation about some of the concepts. So when we talk to clients about and ask them to reflect on what's going well in their life in a very positive psychology way, we're kind of nudging their attention towards their strengths and their successes, which you could also say is very solution focused. And I think the two map across quite nicely. So we might explore moments of pride, satisfaction. So we're all the time reinforcing those positive emotions. So I think that's happening anyway without it being a PPI.
Yeah.
So I think some of the classic interventions are based around maybe gratitude practices, strengths identification and using your strengths, acts of kindness, savouring positive experiences, reflecting on best possible future selves, all of that stuff.
Excellent. So because we have got limited time.
Yes.
So let's think about 3 specific ones that we can talk about today.
Okay, so, first one, number 1, 3 good things as an exercise.
I love this exercise.
Yeah, so, you can tell us about it then.
Okay. So the 3 good things exercise is about, at the end of each day, for 7 days, the person taking part in the intervention writes down 3 things that went well that day and their role in it. So it could be that you had a really good, meaningful conversation with a colleague. So I think the difference is it's not just a list of things I'm grateful for. Okay. I had a meaningful conversation and my role in it was that I stopped and made the time to engage with that colleague. A patient expressed gratitude and my role within that might have been that I gave them the time. And that's why, if I hadn't have given them the time, they wouldn't have been grateful, if that makes sense. So I gave them some extra time, perhaps. I left work on time, and that was about me reinforcing my boundaries and understanding what was important to me. So it's the thing you're grateful for, the good thing that happened, and your role in it.
Yeah, and I think maybe an extension to that, and this is research based, so this is just my idea, but it could be that, okay, and what am I going to do about that? What does that mean to me in the future? Yeah,
that's a nice added.
To have some learning in there as well. Because if that thing happened, that was your role in it, that could be great to do every day, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the research showed that doing this every night for 7 nights had a positive impact on well-being for 6 months. Now, they stopped testing after 6 months, so it could last longer. And I think that's, it's just a lovely exercise to do.
And a lovely explanation of the exercise. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
It was a much better explanation than I would have provided. So thank you.
Good. What else do we have?
Second one, strength spotting and intentionally using your strengths. I think that can be, again, something that we might build in without let's do strength spotting and intentional use of your strengths. I think it could just be a conversation, or it could be that we use a strengths profiling tool or strengths cards, but a conversation around strengths could be really useful. But the PPI is, the research was done around, again, a bit like the 3 good things, is what strength have you used today? Where did you use that strength? What difference did it make? How did it feel? So actually that real focus on, okay, what strengths have I used today? So again, repeatedly doing that as a journaling exercise. Again, there's evidence offered there that the focus on strengths is effective for bringing about a sense of well-being.
Not long ago, we did that episode on strengths, and we mentioned it there. I think it's worth repeating that we're so good at focusing on our weaknesses, on the things we don't do. What did
you call them last time? Non-strengths?
Unstrengths. Yes. And it takes quite a lot to shift that mentality round to focus on the strengths and to, I don't know, maybe it's because we're British or something, that it's like seems bad form, doesn't it?
Yes.
To blow one's own trumpet.
Yes.
So changing that mentality, really powerful.
Good. So third PPI, perhaps look at is best possible self. So this is the idea that a client spends 15 to 20 minutes writing about their life 2 or 3 years into the future. So imagining the things that they've gone well between now and then. They describe their work, their relationships, their sense of purpose. So then after writing, they reflect on what matters most in their future and what steps they could take to help them move towards that future. So I think each of those 3 are really designed to shift attention towards areas that might otherwise be overlooked. So we talk about gratitude, good things, strengths, best possible selves for the future, all very positive to focus on.
And so why do you think that shift in attention is so powerful?
So yeah, because where our attention goes, then our energy tends to follow. And obviously for a lot of our coaching doctors, they spend a lot of their time, their working lives focused on problems and obviously how to solve the problems, but their life is full of problems. So they sometimes need some help in lifting themselves out of the problem talk, thinking about problems, to focus on more positive elements of their life and how they might bring more of that into their lives and move forward with them. So say they're brilliant at spotting what's wrong, what needs fixing.
And we want them to do that when we go to the doctors, right?
Yeah. But if we can lift that anchor and get them to focus elsewhere, then I think that could be really powerful. And I think these different PPIs, we might not, as a coach, have an idea of how we might introduce some of these elements to our coachees. So exploring what PPIs exist that might help with that can be really useful.
And so it seems to be about widening that vision, improving self-awareness, increasing resources. And from a coaching perspective, that expansion often creates new options, doesn't it? When someone reconnects with something that they're good at, or perhaps what brings them joy, maybe they've forgotten what gives them a sense of purpose, perhaps, then their sense of agency increases.
Yeah, we've certainly noticed that with coaching doctors that have been through our coaching training, that sometimes they just forget what they love about being a doctor. And sometimes they forget what brings them joy or what has brought them joy in the past that they've just stopped doing. So it might be that they used to do watercolour painting, but just haven't done it for years, or they might be a musician and haven't picked up their instrument for years. So there are things that in the busyness of life, people just forget that that's what adds the richness to their lives.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just getting them to slow down and connect.
And it is lovely, isn't it, on the coaching diploma, how we see people picking those things up again and saying, oh, as a result of doing this course, I'm now not only learning coaching, but I'm back at watercolour painting or doing some singing
Yeah, so in terms of PPIs, say I'm not a big fan of explicitly introducing them. There are things that I will introduce. So the via character strengths, which comes from positive psychology, I'm not sure. It's quite a big thing. So I'm not sure it's just a PPI, but it kind of is.
No, it's more about raising awareness.
Yeah, but it's research backed.
Yeah, I think the training that I've done on positive psychology, they talk about PPIs as being literally an intervention to interrupt the continued behavioural pattern.
Yes.
And so
I guess doing via character strengths could be an interruption.
Yeah, it could well be. Yeah.
That's something that I do introduce. I obviously have my strengths cards, which I use with clients in a quite explicit way of, okay, here's a set of cards, work through them. Let's uncover your strengths, and values is the same. So I do explicit things, but I'm not sure that I do anything that is, other than the via character strengths, that is an explicit PPI. This is how you do it. This is how you should do it. Follow this way of conducting this experiment.
I've definitely used 3 good things.
Yeah.
And in the way that I described earlier, and introduce it as an option for people to do as a piece of homework ongoing. You don't have to do it on an ongoing basis, but if you can do it for a few days in a row, it will make a difference.
And I think maybe that's bit of resistance that I have, it is quite directive to ask someone to do it. And interestingly, I'm happy to ask people to do via character strengths. Oh, just do this online test. But a more resistance saying, okay, if you do this for the next 7 days, feels a little bit directive. But
Well, it's an invitation, and some people do it and some people don't.
Yeah.
And what I would say is the people that do it really love it and benefit from it.
yeah, and that if it works, why would you not?
Yeah, but it's an invitation. So I equally have had people message me like 3 years later going, you know that thing that you said to do in coaching and I never did? I've just done it and it's really helped me. And I find that quite interesting.
Yeah, and I think we've talked before on previous episodes about the fact it might not work for someone.
Yeah.
So you might offer the invitation to journal and they go, yeah, I did it for a day, never did it again. So it's not, we're experimenting, aren't we?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Good. But equally, we could just introduce questions into a coaching conversation. So we could have questions about someone's strengths and, you know, when have you handled this well before? What strengths did you use in order to come through that? So there are ways of introducing the concepts that sit behind the PPIs without necessarily carrying out a PPI.
Yeah. So what do you think makes PPIs particularly relevant for doctors then?
As we've discussed before, I think doctors are almost always operating in high pressure environments where success is defined by what didn't go wrong. So obviously that can sort of lead to a culture where the actual achievements are minimized. Mistakes are magnified. So that can affect their confidence, motivation and well-being. So I think PPIs and engaging with all of the positive psychology stuff can be a real antidote to that and can restore some balance. So inviting people to notice their contribution, their growth, their strengths, values, all of that stuff back into their work, I think can be really helpful.
Yeah, and I think it probably helps to reconnect them again with why they chose medicine.
Yeah, potentially.
In the first place.
Yeah, but it can be, in lots of ways it can be really powerful.
What risks do you think there are in using positive psychology interventions?
I think it is just that piece around insensitivity. So if we're coming in a very glib way of just, smile more, be happy, stop worrying, then...
Which we wouldn't, because it's very directive.
Yes.
Stop doing that. Stop being miserable.
Yeah. But I think if we are coming in with some insensitivity and not meeting people where they are, then they can have a bit of a resistance to engaging with positive psychology and with PPIs. So I think if, again, through a difficult time, it's good to be person-centered to start with and meet them where they are, let them tell their story, offer them some sense that we understand how difficult it is for them. So just coming at it slowly, I think.
Yeah, acknowledging.
Bringing them round to it, softening them up a bit.
And not just bypassing the difficulty, not ignoring the difficulty.
Yeah. So that acknowledging and understanding, I think, before we start to move on to, okay, what are we going to do about this? And let's explore some of the positive stuff. Yeah.
So it might be that people want to explore a little bit more about positive psychology and find something that they resonate with. I mean, I'm a big fan of trying the interventions yourself.
Yes.
I have tried all the interventions that I use so that I know what they're like, what the pitfalls are, and I can talk really authentically about them.
Yes.
So I'm going to invite our listeners, if they are interested in positive psychology interventions, to have a look, find maybe the 3 good things exercise, have a go, and then see if that's something that they want to incorporate into their coaching as an invitation.
Yeah. I'm just wondering where they would find these interventions, because they're not, there isn't a specific place to go to. Yeah,
so we've got some sources on online, which we can put a link to in the show notes.
Good place to start.
Yeah.
So thank you, Helen. It's a very positive podcast today. Thank you very much.
Enjoyed that. The conversation. What are we going to be talking about next time, Tom?
Next time on the podcast, we will be talking about Stoic wisdom.
Stoic wisdom.
Yes. I have some questions that the Stoics, or particular Stoic, use in solving problems or thinking about problems, not solving the problem.
Okay, so stoic wisdom in the coaching room, effectively. Interesting. I look forward to that.
Excellent. We'll see you next time.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
This has been a Monkey Pants Productions podcast.